So you are looking online about Apple HomeKit and the basics of building a smart home for your house? Too many products on the market, which one should I choose from? What is a shortcut? What is thread scenes? What all that means? If you want to know that and more, stay tuned until the end of the video. Hi everyone, Marcus here from madpack, and if you love tech and if you love discounts, this is the place for you. And today we'll be talking not about this process that you see here on the table, but about smart home and all the things and all the words that you should know so it's easier for you to start building your own smart home and obviously to start using Apple HomeKit. When you are trying to build your own smart home, you need to look to these two logos. One of them saying works with Apple HomeKit and the other one is Matter. But the question is, what means Matter? So Matter is nothing more than a universal language. Like, for example, myself, my main language or my natural language is French or Portuguese, but I'm talking to you in English because it's more universal. More people talks in English. When we look to Matter, we are talking about a product that can communicate in every single platform. No matter if you want to connect to Apple HomeKit, to Alexa, to Google Assistant, you'll be able to use this device because it's Matter compatible. Another thing that is really important for you to know is that it's not only the Apple HomeKit app that is important for doing your automations. And when I'm talking about automations, I'm talking about if I close this door, all these lights will turn off. When I'm going to sleep and I put my phone to charge, I want that all the lights in my house, they go off. That kind of automations you will not find on Apple HomeKit, but you'll find on Shorts. You'll be able to find them in your phone, if you have an iPhone obviously, if you have a Mac, or even if you have an iPad. And also if you have an Apple TV 4K or an Apple Watch, you'll be able to control these two apps in there. Another thing that is important for you to know is that you can add on other people to your Apple HomeKit. So if you have kids or your wife also, you want to give access to everything that you have programmed into your house, you'll be able to give them access from the top. So if you press on the plus button, you'll see saying add people, and you will be able to add that person to that specific house. Be sure to know who you give permission to have access to your house. Otherwise, privacy and security will be compromised. What it means and what you can do with a hub and why it's important for you to have one. On my house, I have the HomePod Mini, but you can have the new HomePod. You can also have your Apple TV 4K as a hub, and also you can use your iPad as a hub. Be aware that it needs to be connected all the time, so I'll definitely recommend you to don't use your iPad as one because you just stay without battery on your iPad, so maybe not the best solution. If you want to do automations, like I gave already the example, if you close the door, all the lights will turn off, you need to have a hub where it's basically going to put all the information and all these automations to work together, if it makes sense. Also, it's really important that you know that if you are setting up a new house, this should be the first thing that you install in your house. Otherwise, you'll have issues of connectivity with some lights or other sensors and other things that you want to install in your Apple HomeKit. And also you need a hub because all the information is encrypted. So if you are outside of your house, the only way that you can connect your iPhone to your house and to your smart home is through your hub. This is maybe not the only hub that you need. Another hub that you may need is a hub from a specific brand. So this one that I have here is from Matter. And for example, this is their sensor, and their sensor only works with automation through Apple HomeKit if you purchase their hub. So in that case, this sensor is going to communicate with that hub, and that hub will communicate with the hub of Apple HomeKit, that in this case, in my house, is my HomePod Mini. Another word that is important that you understand is a HomeBridge. I have done a whole video about this and explaining why you shouldn't install one in your house, but I will explain you what that means. So like I explained, I don't have any HomeBridge in my house, but let's say that this is the HomeBridge. So in other words, a HomeBridge is very similar to a hub. Imagine that this hub that is from Matter was not made for Apple. these two products, in this case this sensor and this hub, they can't communicate with a HomePod mini. So what you do is you purchase a separate HomeBridge that will do the bridge between this product that is not compatible with Apple to be able to transmit and exchange information between the hub of your Apple HomeKit and, in this case, the hub of Meros if this one was not hub compatible with Apple. That's the example of the SwitchBot Hub Mini that is not compatible with Apple. So the only way to connect the SwitchBot Hub Mini to Apple HomeKit is through a HomeBridge. But like I said before, I will just basically stop using this one and get something that is compatible with Apple. In smart home, you have different connectivities, and the first one that I'm going to explain you is Bluetooth. You are connecting these bulbs directly to your hub. The advantage is you don't need a different kind of hub in the middle, but if you want them faster, you'll need to have something in between. If you want to connect with Bluetooth, you don't need nothing in between, but also in this case, this specific bulb needs to be closer to your hub, otherwise you are going to lose your connection. And also another disadvantage is if you connect by Bluetooth, it's slower than other connectivities that you have available. Another way to connect your products is through Wi-Fi. So in other words, you don't need to connect to your hub, you need to connect to your Wi-Fi. The advantage is you have more range, but when more products you have connected to your Wi-Fi, you are going to make all the experience of your house worse, because when more things are connected to your Wi-Fi, situations like seeing television and seeing Netflix is going to get worse and worse. I will definitely recommend you to upgrade your Wi-Fi to a Wi-Fi 6 Plus or a Wi-Fi 7 because you have less people, for example, in Wi-Fi 7, so you have less risks that your Wi-Fi connections get in conflicts with the Wi-Fi connections of your neighbors. Recap: the Bluetooth connects directly to your hub, the Wi-Fi connectivity goes directly to your Wi-Fi, but one gives you more range and the other one is going to give you less issues with your Wi-Fi connectivity. So the next kind of connectivity is bridges, and giving the example of Meros here, you have this door sensor and you want to connect to the hub, and to do all those kind of automations, this sensor have to pass the signal through the hub, through their bridge that will do the connectivity to the hub from Apple HomeKit. The disadvantage is if you have, imagine this was another door sensor, another light, whatsoever, they all communicate here. So if something goes wrong with this device and you replace it, you'll have to reconnect all these devices again to a new hub, in this case to a new bridge, and connect directly to your hub. But the other advantage is that this one, since everything goes here and after that is just one route connecting directly to your hub, the connectivity will be faster. And in the end, if you have an issue, a sensor is not working, a light is not turning on, you know that normally the problem is the connection between that sensor and the bridge, the hub. Far my favorite one is Thread. To use Thread, you'll need a hub that is compatible with Thread. One of them is the HomePod Mini. You can also purchase the HomePod, the new version, or you can also connect to Apple TV 4K. The iPad doesn't have Thread, so in that case, that hub will not work with Thread. But for that reason, products with Thread like this one have Bluetooth compatibility. So in the case that you don't have a hub that is Thread compatible, you still can connect that specific product. So in this case, these bulbs, you'll be able to connect them to Apple, but you will not be able to do automations with it. Another of the reasons why I love Thread is when more products you have in your house, better is the connectivity that you have with the hub. So giving you the example that you have one of these lamps really closer where is the camera, and imagine that is already too far to connect to the hub. But if you have another lamp, and let's say that it was this, that is here in the middle, it will allow you to make this lamp connect to the hub because they have basically a network between them. So this will make all your network of lights, sensors, etc. faster, and also you have less risk that your connectivity and all your automations will stop working. So let's talk about automations and how all this works. So if you go to the app, you can see that now, for example, I'm on my living room, and if I do a long press on the door, here is some automations. In the door of my living room, I have a sensor that when it triggers, so when the door is open or closed, is going to do things. When it opens in the morning, the colors in my living room, they are more reds and more yellows. When it closes the door, obviously everything will shut down. But if I come in the end of the day and I open the door in the evening, the lights will be completely different because I need more light and I want a different mood. Also on my storage room, I have a Meadows bulb and I have a Eve motions. You can see that I have automations in there. So in other words, when this sensor feels that me or my wife goes inside that room at a specific time, so if it's during the day, that is quite a bright light. But if it happens after midnight until more or less 6 in the morning, that light will be red and will be much, much dimmer. So in that case, if I go to the toilet or if I pass through here through my studio, that light, even if it turns on, is not going to be very, very bright, making me waking up in the middle of the night, if it makes sense. So why should I need shorts? And the reason behind is that not everything is possible to do through scenes and automations inside HomeKit. Some of them you need to do through shorts. So basically, if you go here on the corner and you press in automations, you'll come to this screen. And if you press on plus and you come here on the bottom, so I'll give basically an order that is when I put my phone to charge, it will trigger something. So if I want to do that, I'll say that when it's charging, next, now is a new blank order that I want to put here. I can now search for home. That is the home. I want to control my house. And now I press on scenes and accessories. So if I scroll down, let's say that when I put to charge, I want to be sure that my living room is all turned off. So I press all of that. I put next. And after, I just have to turn off all these lights, and that's it, and after pressing done. And last but not least, we'll be talking about the scenes. And if you look to the iPad, you can see that I have here multiple different scenes on the top. If I do a long press and I go to edit these scenes, this one is my breakfast mood. Every single one of these lights, as you can see, so I have Star Wars at 30%, and if I press, that one will be purple. So if I go to the black wall, you can see that is basically here saying in white, but is not white, because some of the things, they are not just here, sometimes you need to do outside. But a scenes is when I'm going to press basically here, all my living room is changing to cinema now. So everything in my living room is a little bit more purple, and so on and so on. A scenes is one thing that you just want to press it with one button and you'll turn on or you'll turn off. If you want to know a little bit more of what people is not telling you about Apple HomeKit and Matter, check this video here. My name is Marco, this is madpack. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, comment below, smash a thumbs up, do whatever you want, but always with a smile on your face. And I hope to see you in the next one.